Daniel Davis is joining us, retired U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel, and Brent Sadler, a retired U.S. Navy captain. Gentlemen, thank you for your service. Thank you for joining us. So, wow, here we are at this moment covering what's happening in the United Kingdom, protests, counter-protests, high alert for even more. So, Colonel Daniel Davis, we'll start with you. What do you make of what's happening, what we've reported on there in the United Kingdom and the U.K.?
Well, I think that like all these things, there's many things going on with. There's always an antecedent that led to the violence and what was happening before. And what's really been going on for quite some time is this growing dissatisfaction among many in the UK about their immigration policies. Their numbers are not quite as high, even percentage-wise, as the United States has from some of our illegal immigration. But the real problem is that the government is, giving lots of monetary gifts. They're taking care of these people who are on asylum seekers, et cetera, better than they're taking care of their own people. And that's really a sore spot when the social services are being cut for regular Britons, and they don't understand why the government is not taking care of this problem. They're not, sending the illegal folks back when they don't pass the asylum test, and they aren't taking care of their people. So now that when you have a situation like this pop up to where there is genuine misinformation here, but the anger that has been building up before this is easy to overflow, and UK has to do two things simultaneously. They have to maintain security and peace and order, but they also can't exacerbate the problem by some of their own policies.
Yeah, really interesting. Again, the immigration crisis also impacting our friends overseas in the UK. Clearly, that's deeply rooted at the heart of some of these protests here. When violence is involved, never acceptable. The UK, though, taking an interesting approach to social media and disinformation. Wanted to share this headline with you here. A woman arrested over inaccurate social media post on identity of the Southport stabbing suspect. Here's what the newly minted Prime Minister had to say about this arrest.
Today we're due sentencing for online behaviour. That's a reminder to everyone that whether you're directly involved or whether you're remotely involved, you're culpable and you will be put before the courts if you've broken the law. And so that's happening today, that sentencing. I do agree that we're going to have to look more broadly at social media after this disorder, but the focus at the moment has to be on dealing with the disorder and making sure that our communities are safe and secure.
And wow, Captain Sadler, when you hear that, you are reminded of the First Amendment protections we are able to have here in the United States.
Absolutely. We fought a Revolutionary War, and it's at the top of the Bill of Rights, so it's at the core of what it is to be American. And so, of course, the Brits have a different legal system. They have different laws, and it certainly should make us Americans very proud and happy that our rights of free speech are protected. Unfortunately, the British people don't have that. And what you're seeing is a government that's being allowed to be irresponsible, and rather than get at the root causes of what's driving this popular angst, and it's years, as mentioned earlier, it's years of angst and mismanagement of government services that have allowed the populace to get to this point. So rather than deal with that, they're going to try and tap down on inconvenient conversations on social media. And that really, all it does is makes the problem worse. The pressures will be build even greater. And so what you have is an irresponsible government that's allowed to continue to operate and not address the will of the people.
Yeah, you wonder how that could have played out. Just compare and contrast of the United States. Obviously, you have your constitutional protections, but you went to Twitter jail. Remember when Elon Musk didn't own it? If you said something that was deemed misinformation, you were blocked, your account was deleted. People still aren't even allowed on that platform. Meta did the same thing, Facebook, Instagram. So again, silencing voices, but in a much different way. Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Davis, Captain Brent Sadler, again, thank you for your service. Thank you for your time. Gentlemen, enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.